rightfully excited about. Great future for that young player, but K-Corp, one of the most professional teams in the scene, one of the most consistent teams. They did have a really disappointing finish at the last RLCS major, but I think this is their bounce back.
You know, this VP team, they've had some pretty good results this year against OCE in particular, but they've yet to have a real breakthrough result against one of the bigger regions, and this would be by far their biggest result if they can play KC close or beat them. It's almost unthinkable, but KC looking a bit vulnerable as of late. They want to remind everybody what they're really about. They're not a team who are happy with 8th place like they got in Rally. They're looking for wins. That's what we talked about earlier with NRG. Looking for wins, nothing else is acceptable. KC, with the roster they've put together, want nothing other than a 3-0 in this match.
I think that would be expected here, but we did have surprises in the last series. Maybe we'll get one here. Can VP take it to this heavy favorite at K-Corp?
So we get both teams just leaving the ball with their diagonal spawning players on the kickoff, and then we have a regular kickoff from the players spawning furthest away. So that's interesting. It could be something for the future there.
We have seen way more of that, where you have sometimes the first 2 players peel off the ball, go for many increasing fake kickoffs, increasing in complexity rather than we've seen in the past. Lots of fake kickoffs this year at the last major as well. But early on, we're seeing some pressure out of K-Corp. Atto go for a 50 here. This one bouncing off the ceiling. VP handling the pressure nicely. Sphinx trying to take time, but that time was not given to him.
Sphinx, like you mentioned before, a very exciting player. I think the best player that's ever come out of APAC as a region. And he's such a young player as well. Ton of potential. If you watch the way that he plays, he's a player who looks like he's got far more in him with his Rocket League career. Very mechanical, very creative. But KC have got 3 players with more experience, currently more ability in so many different areas. Great counter rotation there by Karmine Corp, and then the underdunk attempt by Drally. Lost control briefly, regained it as they continue to pressure VP.
By low boost as well. It looked like there was some hesitation on K-Corp here. The ball there, you can see Atto leaving it, thinking that perhaps his teammate was going to cut and wasn't expecting Catalysm to go on the attack, thinking that they had done enough to zone him out.
Yeah, that was Atto's ball. He could have taken it to the back corner for free. And now he's not going for the kickoff, which would indicate that there's a technical for him. But it looked like he was moving, so I'm
and it looked like his teammate was moving.
Yeah,
as well. I didn't see if I didn't see if it was Drally or Vatira, but it just looked like a simple miscommunication of one player was saying, "Oh, Atto's got it," but Atto thinking the other player's going to get it, but the other player was going for the corner boost.
Yeah,
and
it looked it looked like a mistake. I don't think that the goal, if there was a disconnect right here.
Oh,
you know, Drally did fade away off the right of the camera there. So, you know, maybe, I'm not sure.
It's tough to know.
If he disconnected in some way there, and, you know, maybe he communicated he's going to go for the ball cut rotation, but we'll have to let wait. The admins decide on that one. They're going to take a close look at this, but great finish by Catalysm. I mean, he still had to win. It wasn't an open net. He had to get it over Atto, and he did so with a top corner flick.
Low boost as well on the play, moving upfield, and I think that's something you got to do as a first man. Just, you know, play aggressive, get in the mix.
Yeah.
But certainly something funky happening.
But yeah, the way that this works in any other situation like this, where we have a tech issue where one of the players is disconnected, is if that player who did disconnect or had a problem could have affected the play before the goal happened, then the goal is usually taken away. But, you know, we have to just wait and hear if the decision is made that Drally, who looks like he was the one who wasn't moving, potentially in that play, did he have any way to affect that play that Catalysm eventually scored? Because, yeah, Atto, like you said, looked like he had a free ball. So him turning away from that can be a miscommunication. It can also just be that, you know, his teammate said, "I got it," and then couldn't turn left or something.
Yeah, and you know, that's where you don't envy having to be the admin to make that call. Looks like the goal will stand, so that'll be one to look at in the replay file afterwards to try to make sense of.
I like that. You know, if it was taken, it would have been borderline. It would have been like, oh yeah, could he have gotten back? But it looked like, you know, fair enough. Atto just left it and got scored on. Can Catalysm get another? No, this time Drally is there to take it away from him. Yeah, it was a fantastic play by Catalysm. Catalysm. The play was efficient. It was no nonsense. He didn't overcomplicate things. He just side flicked it top bins.
Now another shot coming in. Sphinx being denied by Drawley, who's moving upfield. Gets a good 50 on the ball. Won't be able, oh, it does look, oh, no, just missing out on that corner boost steal. So VP, they're doing a good job so far, holding off this pressure. They've had to fend off multiple shots now. Really nice 50. Drawley going to go for another 50 and powers that ball through.
Oh, that's a close to okay situation for VP, but they just couldn't get a good enough 50 on that. Sphinx also turned. He thought that he could play it again. So it's somewhat of a double commit there from VP. Nobody able to rotate back in time to cover. KC all over it.
Going straight back to Catalysm, who scored the first goal of the game. So using a lot of boost here. We'll have to get help from Sphinx. He does get a double, but a strong 50 from Drawley sends this ball right back into the danger zone. K-Corp already on the attack once more.
Oh, that's such a good play by Vatira. Good save, though. Really good save into the corner. No follow-up shot immediately because of that one. And that Sphinx again knocks it into the corner. These are effective clears by Virtus.pro, but they need another one, and they do get it.
Great play by Catalysm. Doesn't get the touch, but did fend off the defense.
No way.
Goes for a doink upfield. Drawley will test the net. Sosa there to get the first stop.
Oh, wow.
Atto hitting it high. See, he ran out of boost on that play. Maybe could have gone for a zero boost double if you perfectly get the hit right on the backboard.
Oh, mistake by Drawley trying to turn and chip that. Understeers and misses. So KC's making some small mistakes here. They, just like Energy earlier, though, still very much in control of their game, but far from perfect.
They have had lots of time on attack. Despite not converting on more than that 150 from Drawley, they have been the aggressor. Drawley going for another 50 in the corner here. Vatira moves in. Vatira didn't land cleanly and has to bail out. Atto, quick to it on the ball. Goes for an infield pass, but Sphinx gets a hand up.
Still all tied as we get into the final minute. Vatira getting a brief 2-for-1 there. Always a great thing in 3v3 when you can get the ball past one and 50-50 the next player. Virtus.pro are all getting back quickly right now. KC continue to focus on 50s. Drive challenge takes one out of the play though. Now maybe a chance for the counter-attack. Sphinx intercepted when he tried to infield pass.
Corner pass.
Whoa!
Sphinx, surprising that that ball made it through that first layer of defense from K-Corp. I think you were sounding pretty surprised as well. Normally that's something they shut down.
Yeah, KC are not looking like their best either. We thought this group was just going to be the most clear 3-0-3-0, and we were wrong. Virtus.pro are doing just as Spit did earlier, providing ample resistance against the favorites. And unlike Foot, they're actually getting the ball out of defense with pretty frequent regularity.
And they might be able to steal this first game. As a ball back to the middle, Vatira will take it airborne. Good aerial control.
No way.
It to the backboard.
Ooh.
Looked for a pass back into the middle, but we will have the ball hit, and we've got overtime here in game one.
Oh, the fake kickoff. Oh, what a play by KC. Last second, the kickoff player just pulls away from the ball, and then the close cheat comes through and scores it. So they've got a dunk on the play as well there. That's a great strategy against what VP have gone for in that situation. Both teams tried that actually in this game, so they're really trying to throw tricks at each other. But if we get a chance to look at that again later, it's a last-second fake, really close cheat, and full commit, just flipping towards the ball, getting the dunk on it. Not really much that the back corner player can do. They were most likely VP are trying to probably send the ball towards that back corner. No chance with how things went.
And this is just the highlights from the game. Catalysm moving in on that technical difficulty play. Great snipe to the top corner. And then this save by Drawley. Good work. And then Drawley 50ing this ball through, getting the only regulation goal for K-Corp. And
there
then you
is.
can see the strategy. honestly, K-Corp are one of the best teams, if not the best team, at executing those fake kickoff plays. You can hear the hype from
I can also hear a "let's go" in there in the French comms, the Francophone comms with Belgium, Morocco, and France on the call. I believe they do come in French, but the occasional word that we can understand without needing to translate, which is not going to be very possible for either of us.
I don't speak much French.
Allez.
That's water. But K-Corp, I think even though they got that win, it was thanks to the kickoff strategy that they've had. Honestly, I would love for
they went for
a fake kickoff goal.
Wow.
Fake kickoff play, rather. But K-Corp, they, I think, really have been a big driving force in teams taking kickoff strategies more seriously, because they have had so much success on land with their kickoff strategies.
Yeah, I of course been following that very closely over the years, but saying, I reckon the fake kickoffs are underutilized, and because I'm just a caster, nobody takes it seriously. But
it takes
when
KC
did it one time, everybody's like, hold on a second here, we need to be doing this. But yeah, they make it look really really effective. We had the fake kickoff with the close cheat commit last game at the end for the overtime win. Started this game, it's a double fake to gain possession in the back half of the pitch. So, these little change-ups, these little switches are really hard to predict.
Trying to keep their opponents on their toes, but so far VP's defense has been pretty good. Good enough to force overtime. Kept K-Corp out of net for a majority of that game. Sosa trying to get this ball over to Sphinx, but it was a light hit. Now danger for VP. Can they defend this? No, they can't. That slow pass into the corner really was the start of the end for VP on that play.
What a pass by Vitir, and the snipe by Drally as well. Lots of, two goalies to be specific. One covering middle, one covering top left. Drally just goes bottom left. Sure, Safdie's got pointing at the monitor backstage right now to his team. Is saying, see, that's how you put it in. Away from the goalies, not into the post. But KC looking to add to their tally now as well. Ceiling double. Drally on target and in. Too fast for the goalie.
This was great from Drally. Yeah, if this was beast mode, probably going for a reset off that first hit. And then Sphinx, he's got to calculate. Is he going to go for a reset? Is he going to go for the double tap?
Yeah, I think he thought backboard. It's been a super popular play this season where you have the ceiling and then the backboard and then the goal. But Drally this time only using the ceiling, no backboard involved.
And I think it's even, we're seeing even more too of people go off the ceiling into a reset double.
True.
And so, there was a lot. There was a lot for Sphinx to try to defend there, and K-Corp are starting to hit their stride. Another beautiful pass into the middle of the field. You can see Atto as well. Yeah, that lead bump.
Yeah, they're mixing it up very well right now. The kickoffs have been versatile from KC, and the attacks have been versatile as well. EP trying one of their own there. The double kickoff doesn't get the normal response of a win, but they're in a good position off the back of it. Sphinx now with that attempted play you mentioned earlier, the ceiling double into reset. He gets immediately shut down.
Sphinx has tried to take space a couple times. And has Drally scored every goal except for maybe the kickoff goal? I don't remember who scored the kickoff overtime goal, but Drally all four this time. And he scored the regulation goal last game. So Drally is having a heck of a performance.
Yeah, he's been clinical. He has just put away the chances. It's something that KC are very known for. They get teams into those defensive positions, and they very often score from the attacks that they generate. There's so much physicality with Karmine Corp, so much creativity with passing plays, solo plays. I think it is that physical component that we've seen in this game already. The air dribble bump passes, the little just pop bumps that they throw in. When they see an advantage, they go straight for the throw.
And they're very good at closing the gap as well, just not giving the opposing team any time. We've seen Sphinx a couple times try to take more time than he's got. Maybe that works in APAC when the players aren't as quick as K-Corp, but against K-Corp, VP not really having much time of possession so far. Have had a few good looks here and there, but overall, K-Corp continues to possess the ball, and another shot dropped in. Vitira bouncing off the ceiling will give some space to Sosa, who will have some space in the air, but couldn't make anything happen.
Yeah, it's been pretty clean for KC in this game. Pretty clean ever since the first goal they conceded in game 1. They just settled into the stage match now. Another infield pass attempted. Vatira not going to go for it though. Did look a bit too risky. Strally now looking for all the touches to try and force the ball mid. The 50-50 follow-ups, always something KC are happy to settle for as well.
Keeping this ball in a safe spot due to those good 50s. And now another one will pinch downfield.
Oh,
there's
my
the
goodness.
dunk. Oh, it nails the bar. Drawley almost picking up his 5th goal of the game.
Yeah, what a read as well. And now the air dribble demo by Atto left the ball a bit too far behind him, so there was a gap for a defender to sneak in between. Vatira with the ceiling involved in his play. You just rarely see the same play twice in a row with KC. It's always different, always full trust in each other. There's the 5th. This time, Rally's not involved.
And so it's slowly breaking down the defense. You can see this light shot. It's not a shot that's going to threaten the goal, but it did result in a perfect rebound. And K-Corp whittling down VP's defense one touch at a time. And I think this is the game, Johnny. This is the type of game that I think we expected out of game 1. K-Corp dominating in this one.
Yeah, it is, and this is what we, we've been expecting for the start of the day, like we keep mentioning. It does at this point look like we are just a game away from NRG versus Karmine Corp, which would be tomorrow, should KC close out this series. And if it sounds like we're getting ahead of ourselves a little bit here, it's no disrespect to VP, who in their own region are by far the best team, and out of the smaller regions in Rocket League, they've been the best performing team this season as well. Oh, that's in from Catalysm from range. It's too little, too late. Yeah, for them, this is the warm-up match. They're real matches.
You can see
tomorrow
the blue
as well.
trail as well.
Yeah.
I mean, it happens. You see it maybe more in ones than you do in threes, where you accidentally pinch the ball on a 50 in the opposite corner and it goes in. But yeah, like you were talking about, Johnny, VP dominant in their region, but K-Corp, I think even after their stumble in Raleigh, many people still have them as #1 in the world. So this was going to be a tough one. And then I would get an own goal here.
If not one, then definitely 2. I think Falcons KC seem to be the consensus top 2. So KC, we're so far ahead going into Raleigh that one bad event is not going to plummet them too far down the rankings. VP, their true fight. Obviously, this is a great learning experience from them, and it's good to get the practice on the stage. But they know going into this that they're really just trying to get games and trying to play KC close. And then tomorrow, if they face Foot, that's the match where they have to win. They want to establish dominance in the rest of the regions. We've had 4 very strong regions in the past couple of years for Rocket League: North America, Europe, MENA, and SAM. And OCE, APAC, SSA have their own little battle going on. OCE were on top of that until VP came along.
It's true, they've had their number lately. But this group is going to be pretty challenging for them. They're going to have to, it's still time for them to bounce back against K-Corp. This series is definitely not over, but they're going to have to play the loser of NRG K-Corp if K-Corp does move past this. So they will have to get an insane result. And I also think with how well we saw Foot was playing, it's not even a given that they could even move past Foot. I think that could still be a close series as well.
It should be a tough one, yeah. They'll absolutely want to win that one. That's where they'll think, okay, now we can get a win on the board, get some lower bracket momentum, maybe catch NRG or KC coming down into the losers bracket of the group. Tilted, perhaps. I don't expect that to happen.
I mean, we saw fireworks as well at EWC. You remember when Jorius was subbing for OCE, making quite the run there. So we've seen big upsets, big surprises before. Maybe VP can make some magic happen. They're still in this series. The last game was pretty dominant by K-Corp. Game 1 was much closer. But even in both games, VP has not really been able to keep much time on attack, time possessing the ball. We'll see if game 3, they can figure out how to hold on to this ball a little bit longer, maybe generate some scoring chances. But the demo at midfield going to open up some space for K-Corp.
And you mentioned it in the last game, KC, instead of trying to absolutely blast every shot on target, if they don't think it's going to go in, they're often going for those awkward slow shots, which can sometimes be harder to clear, harder to play into a safe position. And the next shot after that is where the goal comes in. And you know, earlier on when we're watching NRG play, it felt like sometimes they're just battering the net, and it almost makes the save easier because the ball's already coming at you so quickly. Any touch on it is going to send it miles away from your goal. But last game, you know, we saw it several times. You mentioned it with the little awkward shots that KC like to use. Makes it so much harder to get those clears. Especially when you're coming off the back wall or the side wall in a bit of an awkward position. You can't really get the leverage on the ball had you been on the ground. But you're right, Johnny. It's the same concept on sometimes it's easier to hit a home run on a fastball because you get that added, you know, you get to transfer the momentum from that fast-moving ball. So good point there, K-Corp. Very methodical about how they choose to break down the defense. These first 2 minutes, though, pretty close. BP, maybe a chance here of 50. Catalysm does Vatira to the ball. So just safely goal side. 50 says Sphinx in the middle. Catalysm again, blocked by Vatira. That's some effective pressure by VP, just testing the waters. And so far, KC are staying disciplined. You mentioned before the series started, you don't think they're going to, you know, lose their focus and go on autopilot, and it looks like you're absolutely right. They're locked in after a 5-0. Or no, it did end up being 5-2 actually at the end, but
it was an own goal.
Yeah.
So
a couple of very late inconsequential goals. Yeah, they're still showing VP the respect that they deserve.
They don't take anyone lightly, especially I don't think they will after the heartbreak of being reverse swept in Raleigh by Twisted Minds. That probably a wound still fresh in their mind. And Drawley had made a big mistake in that series as well. A misread that ended up giving Twisted Minds that space. So I think you can see how hungry that has made Drawley, especially in that game too, putting in so many goals.
Ceiling bounce pass from Atto there. Now Drawley just getting underneath the goalie. Multiple bumps on Sosa. Help defense comes in from Sphinx, and now the backboard chip by Atto. Tries to breed the miss, but Catalysm doesn't miss. Once again, VP are looking pretty good. They've got these sequences where they're playing Karmine Corp very close.
And Catalysm's been playing very well. There's a fake from Drawley. Testing the backboard, another 50 from Drawley. Creative attack, like you were saying. K-Corp good at these mix-ups.
Maybe a bit too much there. I mean, they're refusing to shoot the ball like goalkeepers, which is great to see. But the choices they have made in, you know, instead have not necessarily worked for KC in these attempts on goal. Haven't resulted in clear-cut opportunities, which is what they're really looking for.
Sphinx. Nice possession there from him, being able to take that up the wall, but it is 50 right away. Sosa tries to go for a boom to the hands of Atto. Catalysm breaking up the play at midfield. Sphinx going for a goal, but Atto there to get the save.
That's a good, excellent block by Atto. Drally just going to send it. Well, what can Sphinx do from here? He's got options. Looking for the outlet pass. He absolutely slaughtered it, though. That ball's got so much speed, and now it's Vatira coming in. The defense, once again, looking pretty good for VP. They're keeping up their momentum. Sphinx covered in mid. Here comes the redirect. Sosa cut off by Atto, but it falls middle now. Drally has to break rotation and gets it.
You can see Vatira was too deep in net. That was a good cut by Drawley to make sure that no shot came out. This game far from decided. VP is hanging right in there.
Yeah, KC are not finding a way through. For almost 5 minutes of gameplay now. It is 5 minutes in total for if we include the last game, add it onto this. And that's a pretty awkward ball for Vatira. Doesn't want to go in riskily for it. Oh, Sosa nearly landed a bump on him. Still a chance for VP, and now maybe a chance the other way for Karmine Corp. Catalysm keeps it up, but will that help Karmine Corp? No, Drally has to just settle for overtime.
Another overtime. Will we see a kickoff strat yet again? Looks like a simple attempt at winning it forward. Pass across was a little bit too close to the defender. It was the right idea, though. Sosa, had that been more to him, maybe he made something happen. Atto, what a read off the corner.
That's a ridiculous goal by Atto to win this one. But a much closer series than the 3-0 would suggest. We had VP leading in game 1 and then making it into overtime only to concede to a kickoff goal. They make it into 0-0 overtime in game 3 only to concede to an Atto wonder goal. But, you know, they continue to just surprise us in their own ways. They don't get a game in the match, but I think from what I'm seeing so far between them and Foot, I'm early.
I would probably
VP
lean.
to
Yeah,
win
I would
this.
lean towards VP after seeing.
Yeah, I
this,
think VP
especially.
are going to win tomorrow.
And I think Catalysm actually played quite well. I think there were even saw on that last